Hi, I'm Andrea Thompson, Editor-in-Chief at Marie Claire, and I'm so pleased to be here today with the beauty team to host our annual Skin Awards, the industry's biggest awards dedicated to championing the very best in skincare. We have over 50 awards in total to present today, and I wanted to take this opportunity to say a huge thank you to our team of expert judges. Over 40 of you gave up your time and tried and tested the products to help us crown the winners, and we really couldn't do it without you. I also wanted to thank all the brands that entered this year. We've seen some really incredible products, making the judging that little bit harder. Today, alongside the awards, you'll also be enjoying some very special skincare content from our editors and two of our skin expert judges, a masterclass in making the most of your products, and a Q&A on the UK's most searched for skincare questions. So without further ado, let's kick off the 2023 Marie Claire Skin Awards. Thank you again for joining us.
How are you? I'm so excited for today.
Good. Me too. I'm really excited. I feel like we're actually in the same room as each other. I feel like we have that energy because we've known each other so long that
100%.
Lovely to see you.
So it's so good to be with you. For everyone that doesn't know Michaella Boulder, you should. She's a master facialist, and she is easily one of the best facialists out there. Like, you are an absolute wizard when it comes to facials. So we're going to have a little discussion today about some of your top tips and how to get the most from your skincare products. So I've got loads of questions for you because, as you can tell, I'm looking a bit drab at the moment and I'm exhausted and my skin's showing it. First of all, I want to talk about something that you are the queen of, which is facial massage. Yes, I want to know, obviously you're really passionate about it, and I think it's something that everyone wants to know about because it seems like such a quick and genuinely quite enjoyable way to get some life into your skin. So can you talk to me a little bit about your top tips for facial massage and how you can use your products to help that?
Absolutely. So facial massage has absolutely become one of my things I do every single day since I've been doing it. 16 years ago, I learned how to do it, but more than learning how to do it, the benefits that showed on my skin and clients' skin immediately was incredible. That it kind of like, that's where I got shot off of the side of the regular beauty therapy training, was knowing how much more we could do with our faces and training the muscles, reminding them where they can sit. We go to the gym, we have massages on our body. It's exactly the same with the face. So massaging and contouring, releasing tension from the face. We know that we use our faces so much, but incorporating facial massage to release tension, to release eye strain, to release headache pain, to release TMJ, which so many of us suffer with stress or grinding at nighttime, which then comes down the neck, around the back of the head. So actually working the facial muscles and relieving tension can also help to release, which would result in a lift, more contoured effect. It improves the efficacy of your facial products at home. So even if you aren't having a professional treatment, you have your collection of skincare at home, incorporating facial massage, stimulating blood flow, collagen, oxygen, nutrients to the surface, the body will respond better with your own products, and your skincare routine at home be more efficacious and actually work harder for you. So facial massage can be performed in 3 minutes. It can be performed in 30 seconds, or it can be performed in 20 minutes. It is entirely up to you how well it works for you and what fits and works for your routine, is what I say to everybody. Is don't think that it's a 20-minute, I have to have this, I have to be in my pajamas, I have to be sat in bed. It can be leaning up against the sink with your cleanser and give your face a zhuzh. I'm going to show you some really quick and
yes, I want to know.
So I'm going to pick up the oil. So I have the Ren, the Barrier Support Elixir.
I also have it. One of our winners, one of our Skin Award winners.
Do you know what? There's so many facial oils actually available on the market that when you find a facial oil that has this lovely light consistency, and I know we'll probably talk about consistency and textures, but this is almost like a one-size-fits-all product. So it's about how much you need. So you need to have enough product to move around your face effortlessly. So I'm going to take around 6 drops. Now, if you have quite oily skin and you are afraid of, or you're uncomfortable of putting an oil on your skin, you can use less. You just need to know that you have enough slip to move around the face.
Okay, my skin is so oily.
And we're going to press evenly over the face first, just so that we know we have product all over the skin and we're not going to drag. And then I'm just going to run the oil on the sides of my hands, because we are going to use the sides of our hands as well, and your finger knuckles. So you've got a little bit of slip all over. There's no friction. So down the sides of the neck, first of all, we're just going to open lymphatics.
Oh, that feels so nice.
Immediately, isn't it? And it's an area that you actually don't really touch.
No.
Take some deep breaths. Bring it into the collarbone. And then we're going to go across the jaw. So now I'm just going to grab my fingers, almost like a pinch. I'm just going to grab and pull across the jaw. Now I've got my thumb underneath to rest. And I'm just going to pull and sculpt my jaw. Now, as you come up, Shannon, get that index finger into your big masseter muscle. So get some pressure in there. at the back of your, keep going. Yeah, there, right
feel that now.
End of your jaw. And as you get there, dig that finger knuckle into the massive muscle, round and back out again.
Oh, that feels so good.
Get some pressure. It feels really good to increase pressure. And this is where we hold so much stress. And then we can go to
I
the
hold
other side.
all my stress in my jaw, I think.
Do you know what a lot of us do? It's the jaw and the eye area. The jaw, because we clench. So if you're working, if you have a very hard job, or if you're just conveniently stressed, most of us actually have quite high levels now. We clench, and as you clench, you build up tension, you build up the bulk of the muscle. So by stimulating, getting some blood flow in there, you'll be able to break down the muscle tissue, get some blood flow to break down the tension. So when you're at home, you can literally run. Lovely. You can do 3 times on each side. 3 times even will make a huge difference. And then we'll go upper lip. And as we go upper lip, we go underneath the cheek out to the ear. So it's a lovely big stretch. So across the upper lip, under the cheekbone, up to the ear. Yes. Okay. And then the other side. The other side. Across the lip, under the cheek and up to the ear. So it's a really lovely stretch. And then you can go one at a time. And it's a nice flow because you move your head. Now, if you're uncomfortable and you want to do one side at a time, we can slow it right down and do one side at a time. Really stretch the upper lip, work on the nasal labia lines underneath the cheeks. We're sculpting, and then we're pulling and stretching up at the ear. So you'll start to feel warm already.
So prominent. Is that going to help with this? I always say it does.
They are the lines, though, that when we smile, they are our cup lines. They are the lines that we use all the time. But you're almost kind of like trying to go over them, but almost like an iron to go and stretch over them. But you're actually pulsing, getting that blood flow in there. So as you can see already, you'll go a bit pink. And when you get that blood flow, you know that it's feeding that muscle tissue, and it will add hydration, moisture, and collagen will be stimulated on that area. So you can just use one side at a time or 2 when you become lovely and confident and have a really good flow. And now we're going to go up to the eye area. So 2 fingers, run underneath the eyes and stretch up. Now this feels so good that when you're doing this move, you want to really press in at the temples and stretch up at the hairline, resting your thumbs under your jaw so that you have pressure, that your hands are comfortable. At the sides of the nose, here at the sides of the nose, just gently pulse. And then you go in at medium pressure under the eyes, all around the eye bone, at the temples, and pull up. As you pull up, you can almost feel your head settling into your hands.
I'm going to fall asleep if we do this.
This can be done fast or slow. So it's nice and slow before you go to bed, or if you're just sitting at a desk and you need a few moments of peace just to reset, you could repeat this move 3 to 4 times. Now, if we're in a hurry and we want to give us a good stretch because we're in a morning routine and the kids are running around, or you've got to get to work, we can go faster. So faster would just be the same movement, but we're using a faster movement. We're going to have the same result, but it's quicker.
This feels so good. Also, I have such severe sinus issues, like they're always blocked. And I feel like this is always the move that really, really releases your sinuses.
It's very true. Now, if you are a sinus sufferer, when you get to your temples, you want to just really bring it down and sit behind the ear. That's where your big lymphatic node is. So just bring your fluid down and sit it underneath. Now, another one why we're here for sinus is because this time of year as well is really, really quite crucial. Now, your sinuses, we get quite a lot of blockage underneath, kind of like around here. And you know when you can't breathe, you think, I just want to open up my airways. Now, if you find your 2 index fingers at the side of your nose, almost your nasal labia lines, but you want to point them upwards towards the cheekbone. Yeah.
Oh my God, I can breathe. I look great.
You can actually find your nasal area that you release so much pressure, and you can even do one side and you can breathe and you open up that whole area. So you open up all of your sinus.
Breathe.
We look attractive, but it's working.
This feels amazing. I can breathe. I feel high on oxygen.
And then you just roll your fingers all the way underneath the cheeks, back out to the ears. And it feels really relieving and again, very calming. But you know that you're actually getting the flow of your sinuses as well. And you've opened your tubes and you have the blood flow. Okay, so now let's go above. So flicks between the brows. We all know that we have those areas, the 11s between the brows. So we're going upwards. Now I'm using quite a heavy pressure. You can see I'm pulling my forehead up, pulling my brows up. So I'm just rolling between my brows all the way up to my hairline. Stretching, blood flow, feels warm. You can almost get to like a numb feeling here if you keep going. I don't know if you noticed.
I feel like I'm really in a roll of things with this.
Yeah, and it's comfortable, isn't it? And now out to the sides. So out to the sides, again, just here, we are going with the lines. We're going to go against our fine lines in a moment, but we're going against the muscle fibers. The muscle fibers in the forehead sit upwards. So we're currently going against them, which will get that warmth to your skin quite quick with your blood flow. And then using our finger knuckles, so just the front parts of your finger knuckles here, we're going to ride up your forehead. So it can be uncomfortable, but it feels like someone's got their elbow in your shoulder, but we're working the muscle fibers in the forehead.
That feels like it's really doing something.
Yeah, exactly. If you do half of your forehead, you can immediately see the difference between the tones of the skin color. Do you see how much blood flow that brings to your face? Isn't it incredible? And then we go to the other side. If you want to speed this process up, you can. So if you're in a hurry, you can just almost do 3 or 4 each side, speed it up and be like, boom, I'm done. I've done my facial massage. We're going to go out to the sides now. So one at a time. Exactly what you're doing now. And we can sweep here for 5 seconds or for 10 seconds until you feel like you've had enough. It's quite hard pressure. We're going against the muscle fibers. So you will feel like it's a tad painful.
About your forehead having like loads of tension, but I can feel it. Like I feel like, you know, when you have like, you're really tight and you have a massage and it like hurts a bit, but in like a good way. That's how that feels.
Afterwards, you feel almost lifted. Like my face, even for that little bit of time, is lovely, flush and pink and already feels slightly lifted. And then you can run around. So just your hands either side, all the way down, bring any fluid behind the ears and then drain back in. There's some really simple moves that you can perform every morning. And that flush is ready. It helps you to get ready. It wakes you up. At this point, if you don't like the warmth to your skin, splash your face with cold water 30 times. It will snatch and tighten your skin. And it is a game changer. That can be done in 4 minutes.
That is honestly, I'm going to do this. I'm actually going to stick to it because I'm the worst. I don't really like engage in my skincare routine that much, but that is honestly amazing. A quick question for you on like product, because I feel like when we're doing facial massage, obviously, like you mentioned, I have really oily skin. Obviously, the Ren Evercalm Barrier Support Elixir is very lightweight and it's not heavy and thick. How do you recommend like choosing your facial oil for your massage depending on your skin type?
Yeah, good question. So again, it's about having enough slip. So some clients will prefer to perform their facial massage in their cleanse. So if you have a foaming cleanser or a lotion cleanser and you feel like it adds enough slip, so you add some trickles of water, you know, where it just bounces your cleanser back up and gives it that life again. That's when you can incorporate your facial massage. So even if it's with a cleansing product, but you have enough water to move, because what we don't want is tugging. It doesn't have to be a facial oil. It can be a balm. It can be a lotion. It can be a foaming cleanser if you have enough. Not necessarily a serum. If you get where I'm coming from, a serum will absorb. It's too tight. It's too dry. So a product that allows enough movement to move effortlessly around the face. Facial oils, there are so many textures and consistencies. So if you're really oily, obviously the Ren Calm is fantastic. It's like a one size fits all because it's so light and it's effortless. And the molecules are tiny. It's very runny. If you have really dry and dehydrated skin, perhaps you are going to go for a cleansing balm. A cleansing balm that I also love is the Tri Balm. I think it's effortless. It's actually a 3-in-1, which is a bonus if you're on the saving time, by the way. And you can just You can scrape the top off if you don't want to have it touching your face, and then you can incorporate that cleansing balm into your daily routine. You can use your nighttime moisturizers, your nighttime balms, and your facial oil. Every product that is in your routine, there will be a slot that you can incorporate your facial massage into.
Okay. I have one more question on this, and it's to do with the eye area. It's no secret that my dark circles, obviously they are genetic, but lack of sleep, everything else, dehydration that goes alongside it makes them so much worse. And I want to talk about, I guess it's just to do with application of eye cream, because I feel like it's so easy to drag and overload the eye area. And I know this is something you've talked about before, which is applying too much eye product. So I've got the Pharmacy Wake Up Honey Eye Cream here, another winner of the Skin Awards. And I want you to show me, because I can't get this right. I want you to tell me how much of this I should be using, and then the best way to just kind of get the job done quickly. Yeah.
Okay, so first of all, most people use too much product. So what I tend to say with my clients is ring finger, and you just gently dab the top of the product.
Yeah.
And show me how much you have. Okay, so now you're going to put that on one side of your other hand.
All of it?
All of it. Just slide it off on that side of your hand. We're going to go in again with another dab. So go in again with another dab out of the pot. So we want a bit more. Yeah, a bit more. Yeah, and on there. So now what you're doing is you're actually spreading the product out on your hand, but we're not going directly onto the area. So take your ring finger. Yeah, exactly. Take your ring finger, dab, and then you're going to go across your crow's feet first. So on the brow bone, on the eye bone, sorry. Yeah, all the way down. Take some more product. Stop. Take some more product. And then you're going to go underneath the eyebrow and back to the outer edge. And stop. Okay. At this point, you can go and add some more. So if you want to use another finger, you can. You want to add some more. But what this is trying to tell us is you take too much product. Number one, it's a waste. And you end up scooping too much out, and you have too much. You bring in your eye cream around this area. You're overloading too much inside the eye bone as well. So it's about making sure we have the right product. So go back into your pot, Shannon. Just take one more tiny bit for me, one more blob.
Yeah.
And you're going to settle it now back around the crow's feet. Perfect. Now repeat for the other eye, and I'm going to show you some eye moves.
Okay.
So when we use an eye treatment, the eye treatment is potent, and that's why it's a targeted treatment. So when you have an eye treatment, a lot of my clients say, don't I just use my moisturizer? Well, yes, you can, but then you don't have those targeted ingredients that you would get with an eye cream. Yeah. But we overuse, and it gets congested, we get milia, it gets clogged around the eye area. So by using the right amount of product, we're not wasting. But you almost need to have, it's not even like a pea size amount, it's less than that.
Yeah, it's less.
And it's about kind of soaking this area first. So we're allowing our eye creams to go in, and they're starting to absorb. Now we're going to go in for massage. So whichever fingers you want to use. So I use my two middle ones because I like the control of those. So from the inner edge, we're going to sweep outwards. And then from underneath the brow, we're going to sweep outwards as well. So I'm using a firm pressure on both sides. So underneath the brow, back underneath, underneath the brow. And then you'll get to a point where it starts to feel sticky. But underneath this eye cream, you already would have had your facial serum. Yeah. We put our serums high enough. So we already have facial serums. Eye creams should only be applied around the occipital bone. Okay. They do not need to go into the area. That's when we can get too much congestion. However, I do recommend that eye serums can be taken further in because they're water-based. So eye serums can be taken further in, and they can come on the upper lid as well. But when we're massaging, we've done our massage movements through our cleanse or our facial oil. Eye creams don't necessarily need to be the key ingredient or the key product to massage. That's about getting that targeted product, not overusing it, and getting it into our elements of fine lines, of loose skin. It's thinner. So we want to keep that active product in the area we want it to be. The eye works like an onion, so it absorbs from the outside in. So that's why I say don't drench the area.
Amazing. I can't wait. Honestly, thank you so much for all of your insight today. It's been so nice chatting to you.
Not at all. I'm honoured. I'm truly honoured to be here. Thank you so much for having me.
Oh, thanks so much. And thank you guys for watching. Hopefully I'll see you soon, Michaella.
Definitely.
Bye.
Thanks, guys. Bye.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm absolutely thrilled to be joined today by Dr. Kemi Fabusiwa, an NHS doctor and skincare expert. Hi, Kemi.
Hi, Katie.
Hi. So we as experts and editors can sometimes get caught up in the skincare world and assume that everybody has the same knowledge as us. So we're actually going to put some of the UK's most searched for skincare questions to you. Are you ready?
I'm ready. Let's do it.
Let's do it. How do you get rid of spots?
So when it comes to getting rid of spots, you need to remember that there are 4 things that are actually causing the spot. And that's excess oil, a buildup of dead skin cells, bacteria, and inflammation. So you want to target your skincare routine to combat each of those 4 things. So to get rid of excess oil, you want to be using a salicylic acid cleanser. To get rid of dead skin cells, you can use a glycolic acid serum. To get rid of bacteria, you can use ingredients like benzoyl peroxide. And for inflammation, you can also use ingredients like benzoyl peroxide. Also, it's important to remember that you can use a retinol, and that will help speed up skin cell turnover as well.
How do you know what your skin type is?
Okay, this is a good one. When it comes to finding out your skin type, what you want to do is just wash your face with a gentle skin cleanser and then don't do anything. Wait about 30 minutes to an hour and then just see how your skin reacts. So essentially, if you find that afterwards your skin is still quite oily, you're noticing that it's super shiny, you know that you've got oily skin and you need a more oily skin cleanser, such as a salicylic acid cleanser. Okay. If you notice that there are certain areas that are oily, like your T-zone, then you know that you have combination skin. And if you notice that your skin is still feeling a little bit stripped and dry, then you know that you have got a drier skin type. As well as this, just in general, if you're hypersensitive, things are burning, stinging when you put it on, you know that you also have a more sensitive skin type.
Okay, great. I'm definitely dry. What are you?
Oh, I'm super oily.
Are you?
I'm like glistening.
You look beautiful. You're glowing, not glistening.
Thank you.
What does vitamin C do? A hugely popular ingredient. What does it actually do?
Vitamin C, also known as ascorbic acid, it essentially helps to brighten the skin. It causes you to have a more even skin tone. It reduces hyperpigmentation. And because it's an antioxidant, it helps to essentially reverse all of the damage that hits your skin over the course of the day. For example, damage from ultraviolet radiation. So it's super important, particularly for all of you out there who are dealing with pigmentation and an uneven skin tone.
What is the difference between dry and dehydrated skin?
Okay, so in a nutshell, think about it like this. Dry skin is essentially a lack of oil in the skin, and dehydrated skin is a lack of water. So when it comes to fixing dry skin, you want to be using creams and emollients and skincare oils. But when it comes to dehydrated skin, you want to be spraying on some water. You want to be using hyaluronic acid, polyglutamic acid, and that kind of thing. So oil versus water.
So you can actually can you be oily skin but also have dehydrated skin?
Absolutely. So I've got super oily skin, but if I don't put enough water into my skincare routine, I can still feel that dry, stripped feeling. And that essentially just means that before I put on my moisturizers, I need to add in water and hyaluronic acid.
Okay. And how do you kind of tell, like, for example, I've got dry skin. So how would I be able to tell if my skin is dry and dehydrated? Because it already will feel, especially at this time of year, like quite dry in areas like flaky and things like that.
So people that have dry skin, as you say, can also have dehydrated skin. And that kind of person would benefit from having both water-based hydrators and oil-based hydrators. So for you, you would want to spray your skin with water, put on some hyaluronic acid, and then use a really thick, creamy lotion. And on top of that, you can even put on a skincare oil at the end.
What about niacinamide? What is it and how do you add it into your routine?
Niacinamide is called vitamin B3, and essentially it does so many different things. It helps to reduce the size of your pores. It helps to reduce oil secretion on the skin. It also helps to create an even skin tone and reduces hyperpigmentation. Plus, it strengthens your skin barrier. So you can see it's a super important ingredient.
It's an absolute multitasker.
Yes, for sure. It's one of our few absolute heroes for everything. When it comes to niacinamide, you can slowly introduce it into your skincare routine, get a 5% niacinamide, use it 3 times a week, and then build up to every day. You can use it by itself, or you can combine it with other amazing ingredients such as retinol, and it can work together.
Can it cause irritation? Is that why you have to slowly introduce it into your routine?
Yeah, so anything new to our skin care routine can cause irritation. So super important to just be careful with whatever you're using. So start low, start slow, use it sparingly, and as your skin adjusts to it, then you can use it more and more.
So do you think it's an essential ingredient for absolutely every skin type because of how much of a multitasker it is?
Yes. I mean, I wouldn't say everybody needs to use niacinamide, and I wouldn't say that everyone will find niacinamide to be the holy grail, but I think a lot of us can benefit from using niacinamide. For instance, if you're worried about a damaged skin barrier, it has benefits for you. If you're worried about hyperpigmentation, it has benefits for you. So I would always trial it if you're looking for something new to add to your routine. But if it doesn't work, you can find something else.
Okay, so retinol, another huge ingredient that's kind of everywhere and people know a little bit about it. Like I've got lots of friends that are really interested in it. But what does retinol actually do for your skin?
So retinol, also vitamin A, is basically a part of a huge family of retinoids, and they basically help to speed up skin cell turnover. So that really helps to increase how quickly your skin is regenerating, which has huge implications for hyperpigmentation, for anti-aging, and for acne as well. So it's one of those ingredients that we could all benefit from using at one point in time. If you're totally new to retinol, I would start off with a very low percentage, but also you can use it every other day in the week. You can use it twice a week. You can use it once a week whilst your skin is getting accustomed to this new super powerful ingredient. It's important to note that when you start retinol, you might start to experience something called the retinol uglies. And essentially that's when your skin is starting to regenerate. It's pushing all of that kind of gunk that's clogging up your pores to the surface. And actually that causes you to temporarily have even more spots. It's important to push through, keep going, and really see what this can do for your skin, because it's a great ingredient.
That's so interesting, because I think so many people would use a product and then see that reaction and be like, oh God, no, it's not for me. So it's really good to know that just keep going, be patient.
Equally, if you find that the retinol is starting to sting, it's starting to burn or causing redness, this is actually a sign it's irritating your skin, and actually you want to space out the sessions in between use.
How do you know what causes acne?
Okay, so as I mentioned a little bit earlier, so acne is basically due to oily skin, dirt, bacteria getting plugged into your pores, and also a buildup of dead skin cells clogged within your pores. And all of this causes a huge amount of inflammation. So if this occurs in multiple areas of your face, this is basically what acne is. Now, you can have lots of different types of spots, whiteheads and blackheads, which is non-inflammatory acne. And then you can have papules, pustules, nodules, and cysts. And this is inflammatory acne. And this is the one that you really need to keep an eye on, because this is the type of acne that can leave behind scarring, hyperpigmentation, and cause you to have a significant drop in your self-esteem and confidence.
And can you kind of talk us through those types? Like, what do they look like? How can you identify them?
Okay, so when it comes to whiteheads and blackheads, so as we know, a whitehead is basically a spot that's close to the surface, and that essentially just causes a buildup of pus underneath the skin. A blackhead is open to the surface, and that's when the contents of the spot turns black. Now, these two, they might not look great, but actually they're not so much of a problem. But when you see the other type of acne, that's papules, pustules, nodules, and cysts, these are the type that are often accompanied by a bit of redness surrounding the spot. They might be quite painful. You might feel that they're very deep to the skin, and they might have already started leaving behind post-inflammatory redness and post-inflammatory hyperpigmentation. So that's how you tell those two apart. It's also important to note that if you have acne in multiple different areas of the face and body, for instance, acne on the face, arms, chest, or back, this is also a sign that you might need to either step up your skincare routine or speak to a doctor or dermatologist to get a little bit more help.
If you're on a budget, what would you spend your money on?
Oh, I love budget skincare questions. They're super important right now. For example, you want to be using multi-purpose ingredients and multi-purpose products. So actually, you can have a great skincare routine comprised of 2 products. So for instance, if you're worried about something like acne, you want to get a cleanser that contains an exfoliating element, like a salicylic acid cleanser. So you've kind of crossed off 2 steps in one. And then you can get a moisturizer that also has a great SPF. And so you've got a complete skincare routine with just 2 products. And that is your way to have a budget-friendly but a super effective skincare routine.
Okay, perfect. So look for multitaskers.
Absolutely.
Great. Is it possible to treat acne without professional help?
Yes, it's absolutely possible to treat acne at home with a great skincare routine comprised of salicylic acid, glycolic acid, benzoyl peroxide, and a retinol. So there's so much that you can do at home. But as I mentioned, when you've got acne that starts to leave behind inflammatory spots, like those papules, pustules, nodules, and cysts, this is the type of acne that's actually going to also be causing hyperpigmentation and scarring, which is both permanent and semi-permanent changes to the skin. So it's actually super important if you're getting these really large inflammatory lesions to consider speaking to your doctor or your dermatologist so that you can avoid some of those more permanent changes to the skin.
Okay, thank you so much, Kemi. It's been so lovely to talk to you. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.